starting recording, so we start, and anytime Rossana can join us, she will see what we are going to see. And so we are taking this. Okay, what are we going to do in part 5 of the reading and use of English? Read what is the information.
In part 5, you read the text followed by 6 questions with 4 options, A, B, C, or D. Questions may test your ability to understand overall meaning, main ideas or details, as well as attitudes or opinions. You may need to infer meaning, use clues to understand things that aren't actually said. Infer, what's the meaning of infer?
You mean it's just what using clues to find out for another solution.
Okay. The first line can be a question or an unfinished statement. Questions follow the order of information in the text.
Okay. So actually is a kind of text like it is here, you know, quite a long test. And then after this long test, you have some statements, okay? And you have to tell which one is the right one. Actually, is the usual reading and comprehension text that we have always done at school, at university, wherever. Okay, because actually it's always the same kind of test. The thing is that it's in order, so you don't have to read the whole test and then try to memorize and then get into the question. You can even read little by little and then find out the questions, because otherwise the text could be quite long. So dealing with distractions. Quickly read the exam instructions and the 2 paragraphs. And then we have to understand now, we are going to read this, and then we have to understand what kind of text is it, and why did Liam go to the house? Okay?
Okay.
So we are going to read this extract from a novel, and we will choose the right answer, which you think fits best according to the text. Okay. Read this.
It was late afternoon when Liam stepped off the train and made his way quickly out of Upton Station. As ever in autumn, it was damp, cold and windy, with low clouds racing across the darkening sky. He thought about taking a bus into town, but remembered how infrequent they were and decided to go on foot instead.
Okay, good. So, Rossana, hi, welcome, darling.
Hi,
No problem.
Rossana.
Okay.
I'm having some problems with the connection because
But today, everybody, I don't know how, because today I had the same problem this morning, and another student that is living, let's say, I don't know, far away from here, is having the same problem. So probably, I don't know, I was thinking that it was my fault here. I mean, my fault, because they are doing some works on the street here. So, but I think that is all around this. Maybe there are really actually a lot of people dealing with the internet at the moment. So sometimes.
Yes, because a lot are working remote.
Yes. Okay, anyway, we are getting, Rossana, into part 5 of the test. It's an actual reading and comprehension exercise. So we have to read a text that is quite a long text during the exam. Now we are just doing some exercises. And then after we're reading the text, we have some questions to answer, some statement or question, and you have to answer which one is the correct one. That is a normal kind of exercise we did so many times. But now we're doing to see a short text that Valentina was reading. Okay, I'm
Yes,
just
yeah,
reading.
I remember because
It's page
yes, I page
24.
24.
Yeah, good.
I'm synchronized with you because
Okay, good, fantastic. Okay, so I'm reading again the first part and then I let Valentina go with the continuing of the text. It was late afternoon when Liam stepped off the train and made his way quickly out of Upton Station. As ever, in autumn it was damp, cold and windy, with low clouds racing across the darkening sky. He thought about taking a bus into town, but remembered how infrequent they were and decided to go on foot instead. Go on, Valentina.
There was hardly anyone around, though at a street corner he passed 4 teenagers he recognized. "Hi," he said, but there was no reply, and he hurried on. Further along the road, a young couple he was sure he knew passed by on the other side. But when he gave them a wave, they just looked the other way. "This used to be my hometown," Liam said to himself, "but it doesn't feel like it anymore."
Okay, Ross, can you continue the second
yes.
paragraph?
Arriving at number 46, he rang the bell and waited. At first, nobody came, even though he was right on time and he knew that Carson was expecting him. He rang again, more impatiently. He didn't want to be there a moment longer than necessary. He wondered whether Carson might have changed his mind about helping. Had the plan perhaps become so ambitious that it had scared him off? Eventually, though, the door opened and the tall, thin, worried-looking man stood there. "Did you have a good journey? Is everything all right?" Carson asked. "Yes," said Liam calmly. "And if you can give me the package, I'll be on my way."
Okay, so this is just the first part of this novel. What kind of test is it? We just say that is an extra from
An extra is an extra.
an
It's
extra
an
from a
extra
novel. Is an
from
extra from a novel. Okay. Why did Liam go to the house? What do you think?
The package.
Yes, to collect a package. To collect a package. Good. Now, let's see. Look at the exam question 31 that is here.
Yeah.
What surprised about him about the town? What surprised him about the town? There were many people on the streets. The public transport system was poor. The people he saw were unfriendly. The weather was rather unpleasant. What is surprising him is, of course, the answer is C. Yeah. Yeah.
It is already.
Okay.
And now you see the parts of the text that relate to these options A and D that are underlined. You see, for example, let me put it here and here, there. Okay, so as ever in autumn, it was damp, cold and windy with low clouds racing across the darkening sky. That means that the weather was rather unpleasant. Yes, but doesn't surprise him.
No.
So that's why it's wrong. Then, so this one is D, of course. He thought about taking a bus into town, but remember how infrequent they were.
Okay.
What one?
This is the B.
B, yes. B, that of course is wrong because he remembered that was he remember how infrequent. Then we got this other sentence. There was hardly anyone around.
The
Of
people.
course,
No, no. Oh,
There
no.
were many people on the street.
yes, there were many people on the street. That of course is not true because there were hardly anyone around. And these
Last,
are the two connected to the right
Hey.
one.
the people is so
There
unfriendly.
was hardly
So
anyone.
yeah,
around.
this exercise is just to let you understand that even if you're not sure about your answer when you got a choice of 4, the thing that you can actually do is looking for the things that are wrong. So there were many people on the street. No, because here say there's no one around. So I cancel A. And then
Okay.
for the same reason, I will cancel B and D. And even if I don't understand, I'm not sure that the people is so aware and friendly because it's not so clearly expressed. It's just, you know, under the lines that is there. But you can just cancel the options that you consider wrong. So this is very important, this kind of exercise that I found it, you will find it much easier than number 4. 100%, no problem. Okay, so now look at the exam question 32 below.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know the how did Liam feel when he was at the house? The answer is B, eager to collect the item and then leave quickly. Okay, now you underline the parts of the text they are related to AD and they are wrong, and you explain why each is in this case incorrect. Okay,
Yes.
so for example, please you will be able to spend some time there.
No.
No, because he said
He didn't want to be there a moment longer than necessary.
Perfect, yes, is this
okay.
one. He didn't want to be there a moment longer than necessary. Then we got afraid because he was involved in something big.
No. No. Can scare him. No, because had the plan perhaps become so ambitious that it had scared him off, but scared him, not.
Yes, Carson may be afraid,
Yeah.
not him. Was Carson that he supposed that Mr. Carson would be afraid, not him.
Yeah.
And then the worry that he might have got there too late.
He might have got there too late. No, perché dice if at first nobody came, even though he was right on time, and
He was right on time. Yeah, that's it. It was right on time. Very good. I knew that was easy for you. Okay. So now let's get into this practice. Read instructions and the time. I think that this one, you can do it by yourself. Because, yes, you know, you got this text. All the text here. You also have an information that is line 33, so you can refer to it. And then you will get into the questions here. Remember that they are in order. So you can also read the first paragraph, let's say up to here, and then see the first questions that you have here, or on the first two, and so on. But this is much easier for you. And then read all the advices that they are giving you for each question. Does a sigh show that someone is happy or unhappy? For example, what is a sigh?
What is a sigh?
This is a sigh.
Okay, it's a verse.
Yes, it is. It is. Claire held back a sigh and walked into the kitchen to put the coffee machine on. Okay, so you think it's bad or good? Usually, a sigh.
Bad.
Yeah, a sigh is not so good. Yeah, that's this.
We
It
use
could be, yes.
you use also in the comics balloon.
Yeah, that's it. That's
In the
it. Yes.
Italian comics, sig.
Yes,
When
because
cry.
sig, even sig and
Yeah.
sigh, because they are all the things they are using in comics, they are onomatopoeic words.
Yeah.
So actually they are expressing some noises that we are doing while expressing a feeling, like sigh, or there's also sobbing. Sobbing is this is sobbing.
Yeah.
Or you know, so many words are coming from onomatopoeic, and we were used to find them in comics, of course, like even this is yawning.
Yeah.
Yawn.
There are
It's a verb.
a lot of verses that are different in other languages. Also the animal verses.
The animal verses are almost all different. You know, I know because it's my subject.
The chicken is
The chicken.
cool.
I mean, the chicken is clock 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 clock.
Yeah.
It is written CLUCK, clack 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 clack. The rooster is cock-a-doodle-doo.
Cock-a-doodle-doo, esatto.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. But all of them, ask me anybody, and I know, of course, all of them. But even the sheep that we say ba in English is ba.
Yeah.
Like the goat is meh.
Also
So
the dog.
the dog is woof. Woof. Or the one that is fantastic that they say, oh, that's why they'll say the bird is tweet. That's why it's called Twitter, the social.
Oh,
And you know, there's got a bird. Yeah, the
Mm.
symbol is a bird, because we say chip chip in English is tweet tweet.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so many you can learn. Just, you know, the same are moo, that of course is written with double O, or meow, that is EOW, meow. Yeah. And more or less the sound is similar, but actually they're all different. Even the horse, neigh, neigh.
Nay.
Neigh with the AGH final, neigh, neigh. Or the frog.
Very strange.
The frog is riddle, riddle, riddle. Yeah. No, it's fantastic. They're very good at it. I prefer English sounds because they are trying to follow the real sound.
Yeah.
Whilst in Italian we are much more literally cra cra.
Yeah.
It doesn't say cra cra.
No.
Yeah, it's riddle, riddle, riddle. Yeah, it's much more froggy. Anyway, forget about. Okay, so you're doing by yourself.
Yes.
This page 25, 26, and of course 27 for next time. And then you will check how it is. But I think you can do very well here.
Very well. I tried to do this exercise 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and no no correct answers.
Yes, but
Only,
now you got a
only
different
one.
approach. Now you have a different approach because when you are not sure about it and you got the choice A, B, C, D, let's try. You got take all your time and let's see if, for example, here, how does Claire feel about her school? She would have achieved more at a better school. If you're sure that this one is not correct, try to eliminate and see
Okay.
what is happening by canceling what is wrong.
Okay.
I
This is this one. No, this approach will be my approach for the next
Yeah.
exercise.
Yes. Okay. Tell me, Vale.
I tried to make the exercise 3 at page 21,
Okay.
but I wasn't able to.
Oh, you have to tell me anytime this. Okay.
To understand where are the mistakes.
Okay, this number 3, this one.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see what we are talking about. This is this one training.
Or maybe the gerund and infinitive, I don't know.
Part 4. Okay.
Only some of them are clear for me.
Okay, this is exercise 3. Yes, this is strictly connected with gerund and infinitive. So to save $1 a day, I give up having a coffee in my break time because gave up needs a gerund afterward. I gave up doing something. To give up doing something means. So that is all for now. Don't forget to write soon. Forget needs the infinitive.
To write.
The problem is that actually there's no other. I remember a list is really hard. This is much more difficult than any other list, like, you know, irregular verbs. Irregular verbs at the end, you can remind them because they sound a bit. Here there's no sound to remember. There's nothing connected but just doing exercises as much as you can. We stopped to place orders with your company because deliveries were too often delayed. So with the verb
Stop.
with stopped, you have placing. Stop
Placing.
because you are stop doing something.
To stop. Okay.
I'm very glad
to
hear from you. That's it.
Hear, quindi, yeah, because there is an adjective.
Yes, glad. Glad to hear. Brava. This is much easier to remember because any adjective, it's okay. I will carry on
using.
to use it. Carry on using.
Carry on because there is a preposition.
It's a preposition, and then you can even try to remember because carry on is something that is in progress. So it's much more logical to put a verb that has an in progress meaning, like using. Okay, a carry on using my bicycle. There's no point to open a store. After there's no point opening.
Opening. No point.
Opening a store.
My best friend and I plan after plan to see.
To see, that's it. That's it.
She suggested to light a fire. Lighting.
Lighting.
Light.
She suggested lighting a fire.
Sì,
Suggest lighting a fire.
I regret to tell.
Regret.
Regret I remembered to have seen the escalator on my left when I first went into my room at the hotel. Having to remember.
No, in this case, be careful, because instead, this is correct. I remember to have seen if you would use the infinitive, but by using the gerund, you don't even use to have, because I remember seeing the escalator.
Okay. Remember.
Okay. So there are exception over exceptions actually here. Yeah, just practicing and trying to memorize a bit.
Yeah.
But more or less the form are always the same. Okay, what about the others? We did it, did we?
Yeah.
Didn't we? Yeah. Okay, let's get on. By doing this page, part 6. Rossana, can you read what is happening in part 6 of the reading and use of English? That is not the last one, because there are 7. Okay.
But when I see in part 6 there is a text with 6 gaps. Okay.
Yes.
In part 6 there is a text with six gaps. Each gap is for a missing sentence.
Sentence, not word now. Now we have to place a sentence in its right place. Okay.
These sentences are in a list A, G, but in a wrong order. You have to put the sentences into the correct gaps. There is also a sentence that doesn't fit anywhere. This can be any of A, G.
Of course.
You can use each sentence once only. Part 6 test, your understanding of the overall structure of the text and the development of ideas, opinions, and events. The instructions tell you what kind of text it is and what is it about. What it is about. The text has a title and often some background information below it.
So actually, this is even helping you a lot for the writing, because, you know, this is how to connect ideas. When you have a text, here you have some missing sentences. That means that those missing sentences are connecting the previous paragraph to the following paragraph or sentence. So they have to be you have to be very careful of what is previously and after that blank, that gap. And in this case, you have to put this information. And this is the same way you will use when you are preparing your written test, because you have to remember that in your test has to be one, not just sentences put in them like that, but they have to give a connection one to the other, and you can show how to develop your ideas, your opinions, okay? It's not just putting some opinions like that, but trying to connect them all together. And this is the exercise that is even preparing you for that. So now let's see the title. They say here that the instructions tell you what kind of text is and what is it about. And this is very important, because according to what you understand from the title, you can even imagine what they are going to talk about. And so even the kind of language they will use, it could be much more familiar to you if you know what we are talking about. Okay, and sometimes they have some background information below it, like here. Vale, what is the title of this short text?
The Flight of the Bee.
And
New
Yeah.
research explains the mystery of why bees never seem to get lost.
Okay, Rosanna, what do you think it could be this text about?
Talks about the flight of the bee.
Flight of the bees, of course, but what?
And and explain why. I don't know why the bees never seem to get lost. So it seems that the flight of bee is as a direction, so it's not a random.
Yeah, that's it.
Casual. Well, I can say a random flight.
It's not a random flight,
Not
but they
an
should have an
flight.
itinerary somewhere
Yes.
in their mind, and
And
they are
so,
yeah.
and in this text, probably we will find the reason of
The reason why. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. So when you're going to read the text, you probably didn't find so many surprises because you already know what they're talking about. And even some words that can be unknown to you up to now, they can be just more easy to understand because you know the context.
Yeah.
And so you know what, even if there's a couple of words that you don't know, it's not so important if you know what we are talking about. Okay, now we are going to read this extract. And here we have
already the answer.
yes, already the answer. Yes, we already have the answer and the expressions which links sentence F to the text that are underlined. Okay, match each link in sentence F, that is here, and an underlined part of the text. So for example, the biologist, the scientist, okay. But get into the text and try to understand it. Okay, let's go. Those, Vale or Rosanna.
Those who have studied the bees have long wondered how they always manage to find their way home, no matter how strong the cross winds. They never seem to get blown off course. Now, however, biologists believe they have discovered their secret by using radar. However, biologists believe they have discovered their secret by using radar to observe their flight patterns.
Okay. Okay, to do so, this is...
Vale?
Yeah,
Vale.
uguale, it's the same.
To do so, they fitted bees with tiny electronic electronic instruments, which enabled the scientists to track all their movements over several kilometers.
Yes.
What this showed them was that bees seem to know exactly how far the wind is blowing them, of course. And they react to this by adjusting their flight direction accordingly.
Okay, so you see here, if you observe the flight patterns and so they are strongly connected. So rather to observe the flight pattern, to do so, that is related to observe the flight patterns. Okay, also track all their movements over several kilometers. And these, this word these, and showing them, of course, is connected to biologists and scientists, okay? With what these, so the showed them who? The biologists. But if it wasn't this sentence here, you couldn't be connected to it, okay? So the reference word is this one. With this, show them who? You have to understand whom. Oh, who? The biologist. Okay. Okay, now you're trying to do the same thing. You read this and then you see how it's connected. Okay, let's go.
Aircraft pilots do something similar, using computers to calculate wind speed and direction. Bees, on the other hand, do the same thing by checking the position of the sun and watching how the ground appears to be moving below them. If the wind is affecting the way they are going, they change direction.
Okay, so the sentence that they put is this one. Aircraft pilots do something similar using computers to calculate wind speed and direction. How do we understand what is connected to the previous or the following one?
Do something similar.
Yes,
Similar
that's
of
it.
what?
Yeah.
Similar to track aircraft pilots, the adjusting their flight direction accordingly.
Yeah, this is the sentence that they put. But why do you understand that is connected to the following one?
Direction,
because they calculate the wind speed and direction with the computers, such as the bees.
Such as the bees, that's it. Because they say bees do the same thing by checking the position of the sun. So the same thing, which is the same thing? And then we got all the word that we have, like they, them, they change direction, they who. If the wind is affecting the way they're going, they change direction, the bees.
The bees,
okay,
the bees.
do the same thing. Which things? This one, aircraft do something similar using computers. Okay, so this is strictly connected. Trying to do during, okay, Vale, read this.
During this experiment, the researchers also discovered that the wind speed affects the height at which bees fly. On windy days, it appears bees flying against the wind tend to fly lower than usual, but on windy days, it appears.
And this is the sentence that is put. On
bees
windy
flying
days.
against the wind tend to fly lower than usual.
Okay.
This, they found, is because it normally blows more strongly higher up. Bees flying in the same direction as the wind, however, can use this to save energy by flying at greater heights.
Okay, so this sentence, on windy days it appears bees flying against the wind tend to fly lower than usual. How do we understand which are the words previously or after that let us understand that is the right one?
Allora,
because they say that the wind influences the
That's it, the wind speed.
Yes, the speed. The
yes,
speed.
And that even after they say these, they found this what? The action of the bees flying against the wind.
Yes.
Okay, is connected to it. And without this sentence, this following test has no sense. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. So that is important to put the connection. Okay, I think that you can do it the same. So this is another exercise to do it by yourself.
Right.
Okay. Not
the mission is impossible, but
mission is not impossible. If we want, we can do it together, but I think that you have to speculate and think a bit.
At which page?
So they are page 30 and 29. 29 and 30. Let me write it down as well.
Okay.
29 and 30. So how to face this exercise? First of all, you start with the text. Which is the text about?
The ultimate green home. The WWF's new headquarters.
So what they are talking about?
Ecology.
What?
Ecology.
Ecology, yes, ecology. So yes, it's regarding ecology. And regarding what in particular?
Green home.
The WWF's new headquarters. What is the headquarters?
Related to the building for a company. So
yes, it's the main building where a company works.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the new, so they are probably building it. And it's green. So probably they are explaining to you that it's just built with a green ecologist idea, even the building. So they are talking about this building made with an ecologist idea. Okay. And then, so you have to put these sentences in the right place. And these are the sentences. Of course, they are not in order. And there is one more that is not connected at all with the text, but is similar. So what do you have to do? Each time you see here you had advices. Please read them all when you are doing the exercise because they could help you. Not always, but sometimes they just help. For example, look for a sentence containing references to the people and the place. Because here there's something that is connected both with people and place. Okay, so you can do it. And so in this way that we can do it, if we have time, we can just face it or start to train it. We go to part 7 of the reading and use of English. That is the last part of reading and use of English. That means that after this, you're finished with grammar. Okay. So, and you can have a sigh of relief. Okay. But not really. Okay, so no, because I always think because you now think that the grammar part could be difficult, but when you are doing the listening, you will understand which is really difficult.
Yes. The
yes, this one you have just to study and practice.
Okay.
The listening, sometimes it could be even hard, even for the B1 could be very hard. So we'll see. I don't want to scare you, but that's reality. Okay. Okay, task information. Read, Vale, what is in part 7.
In part 7, there may be one long text divided into sections or a number of shorter texts. There are 10 questions which you match with the sections or short text according to the questions at the top. Which person, there are
okay.
Match with sections or short
no, it's
text.
not so clear. When you will see the real exercise, you find it very easy to understand it, how to do it.
Part 7 tests your ability to find particular information in a text. You need to understand detail, attitudes, and opinions in the questions, and find the parts of the text which express the same idea. The instructions tell you what kind of text it is and what it's about. It always has a title. The information you need may not be in the same order as the questions. There may be evidence for a particular answer in more than one sentence or part of a sentence.
Okay, so what we have? We have this, for example, avoid incorrect answer. Now, let's study question 43 and 48 and extract C from part 3 text below. Match the underlined text with the correct questions by drawing a line. So it seems complicated, but it's not. Okay, just read C, the extract C, Rossana.
Shop assistant Laura Sanchez recently switched from the bus to the tram to get to work. I wasn't keen at first, she says, because the nearest stop is more than a kilometer from my house, and that's quite a long way on foot twice a day. I also used to think that trams were cold, noisy things with hard wooden seats, but when I saw how much nicer they are these days, I decided to make the change. The only problem, she adds, is that if one breaks down, there's a complete tram jam. One Monday morning, I was stuck like that for over an hour, and my boss wasn't pleased.
Okay, so you see, and she is number is C. So what you have actually is there are this part of text. So you have person A, person B, person C, etc. And you have to tell which one is telling, which person is telling. So
Okay.
for example, Laura, that is C, feels that traveling this way is more comfortable than it was. Where do you find it? Is underlined. So
Feels that traveling this way is more comfortable than it was. When I saw how much nicer they are these days. Trams were cold.
yes, this is trams. Yes, trams were cold. Okay, trams were cold. She feels that traveling this way is more comfortable than it was because trams were cold. Now it's much better. Okay. Once arrived late at work because of transport delays.
One Monday
Yes.
morning, I was stuck like that
Yeah.
for over an hour.
And this is.
But stuck because it's very close to people in the tram.
No, stuck means that you can get out, that you are framed, incastrato.
Incastrato, ma perché? Perché c'è tanta gente, perché there are many
Tram
people.
jam, the tram jam jam è inteso sempre come traffico.
Okay.
Per cui incastrato si intende sempre nel traffico.
Ah, stuck, ok.
Stuck.
Tram was stuck in 1 hour because there are lots of cars.
Of traffic, of cars and traffic.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then has to walk a considerable distance every day. It's always here. Where do we found that is here text?
The nearest stop is more than a kilometer.
Very good. It's more than a kilometer. Okay. So now look these questions.
I didn't understand, but she choose to take the bus or the tram. Because
she switched from the bus to the tram to get to work.
But
because the tram hasn't got any traffic
because
it's got the railway.
Okay.
Following a railway, so it couldn't be possible that there's a traffic. It could be an accident, but it's different, but not jam, because the jam you got when the cars, they are free. When they are following a rail, like a train, of course, the possibility of getting a delay, they are much lower.
Yeah. But so she preferred to get the bus because the the seats are more comfortable than the tram.
I wasn't keen at first, she said, because the nearest stop is more than a kilometer from my house and it's quite a long way on foot. Okay, twice a day. I also used to think that trams were called noisy things, but when I saw how much nicer they are these
They changed.
days.
So the seats now in the tram are different.
Yes, there's everything different now. I decided to make the change. The only problem is that if one breaks down, there's a completely tram jam because the one in front of you stopped and you can't move because of the rail. Okay.
So okay, the only one reason it was to get the tram. It was because the nearest stop is more than so.
Yes, it's the only thing that she doesn't like. It's far away, the stop.
Far away.
But anyway, all the things, they are more convenient. They are more than the things they are not.
Yeah.
So she decided to make this switch. Okay, now let's see what is written in 43, 46, and 48. Took up these means of transport for environmental reasons. Not here. Dislike having to travel surrounded by a lot of people. Not here, she doesn't mention.
No.
Thinks they pay too much to travel to and from work, she doesn't mention. But now, which two are answered correctly by the extract E below? So two of them, two of these three, 43, 46, and 48, are containing into this E extract. So tell me which one are those and where are those? So underline the places. So first of all, we read the extract.
Okay.
Okay, read the extract, any one of you, Vale. That's
Justin McKenzie works in the city center and takes the train every day. It's handy for the office, he says, but the fares keep going up, and at this rate, I'll have to think about using my car to come into town. He driving to work and started going by rail instead. I really wouldn't want to have to do that, he says, adding, I don't even mind the fact that the rush hour trains are so crowded because at least it means there are fewer people using their cars.
So tell me where it say that took up this means of transport for environmental reasons. Where?
Justin McKinsey says that at least it means there are fewer people using the cars.
Yes, but this is not the reason why. This is another way.
Because of all the pollution.
That's it. Because of all the pollution it caused. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it, the right one. And then let's say this. Dislike having to travel surrounded by a lot of people. Does it mention, is it true or not? And if it's not true.
Yes, it's true.
So where is it?
I don't even mind the fact that the rush hour trains are so crowded.
Yeah, so it's not him. It's not him. So this is not correct for him. I don't even mind the fact that the rush hour trains are so crowded. So this is not for him. He doesn't dislike having to travel surrounded by a lot of people. It's not him. It must be somebody else.
Yeah.
And then we know, because two they were correct and one known, we found the one that is not correct. So this one must be correct. Thinks that they pay too much to travel to and from work. Where do you find out this?
He says the fares keep going up, and at this rate I'll have to think about it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. But the fares going up and up. That's it. Very good. Excellent. So this is what you can do. Of course, now you can do it for next week. I don't know if you are able to do it, but this one is another part of exercise you can do by yourself in this way. So I give you all the exercises, but you do just whatever you can.
32.
So
Okay.
yes, yes.
Fine.
So they are 33 and 32. 32 and 33. So you have these 4 people that actually they are not 4 people, they are places. So they are just describing some places, A, B, C, and D. Okay, then
Yeah.
we have this assessment here, and they say they are just connected. Which section recommend paying the entrance fee? And you find out which one. Okay. Remember that one, it shouldn't be read instruction and title, find out what kind of text is in the topic. And the text is 4 of the world's best beaches. Which are the best beaches on earth? Here are our 4 top. Very, very easy to understand. Quickly read the question and underline the key word. So the keywords can be entrance fee, advertisement, water temperature, shallow water.
What is a shallow?
Is the opposite of deep. Shallow and deep. Deep water and yes, acqua bassa we say. Okay, and so on. Then go quickly through the first section to see which question it answers. And you read the first one. And then you find out which one is connected to A, Rhodes Beach, the Cheese Island, Spain. Then, when you find information that seems to answer a question, read the question again and study the evidence in the text carefully. Tip: different texts or part of the text may contain similar ideas, always. But you have to read carefully to decide which say exactly the same thing as the questions. You will need to use the same option for more than one questions for answer my all BA. Okay.
You will need to use the same option.
Yes, because you can have, for example, option A that is here, 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 and there. We don't know where. Okay. And then when you're doing, read the advice carefully because they would help you a lot.
Okay.
So now you got a lot job to do. Yes, but you know, it's just you can do wherever you can, because it doesn't mean that you are, if you are not doing this exercise, we are not going on. We go on anyway, because this is not, it's just a matter of exercise, how to face the exercise. But please, when you have done this exercise, please tell me how was it for you. Okay, if it was difficult, if you could do it, if you want that we look into it again together, we can do it, no problem. It's you two, you decide, you are the team, and I'm just here to suggest you something. Okay, so you decide what to do in each way. Okay, Talin, so we are going to meet you next Tuesday anyway, and I hope you have a happy Easter.
I wish happy Easter to you.
Thank you.
All
you. All of us. All of us, and I'm already started to eat some chocolate, so I will finish probably, I don't know, next month.
Okay, but thank you for your exercises because they were very useful on my
Okay,
mobile
good.
phone. So I
I'm
checked
glad.
it with computer too.
Yes,
And,
yes.
fine. Very
Okay, okay.
useful.
Okay,
Thank
of course, now I'm not gonna send you any other
No.
exercise more than this because you're gonna laugh. Okay, but we'll see. Okay, see you. Bye-bye, girls.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
bye.